Ben was pointing out earlier, you can't hear cars, you can't hear planes. You just go outside and you hear birds, and it's so nice. Oh my gosh, we are so excited. So we just got to our cottage in Minnesott Beach, and I cannot tell you how excited we are. Like, the drive here was so green, and now we're here. So nice. The weather's been pretty good. It was supposed to rain on us today, but it wasn't too bad. It was just a little bit cloudy. But so you can see the house behind me. This is our cottage. It's called Creekside Cottage, and then you can see there are two more attached kind of kitty corner to each other. So they kind of share like a back porch, but not really. Like, there's not really a backyard here anyway, but we haven't been able to hear anyone yet unless you go on the back porch. So we're really excited. It just still seems very nice and private. Cottage is the best word for it because it's just cute. It's a little 2-bedroom place. The kitchen is open to the living room. We've already been through and explored. We already emptied all of our groceries into the fridge. So, I mean, let's just go take a look. It speaks for itself. It's amazing. Okay, so the really cool thing about this is you don't have a key. You just enter in your code here that they gave you on check-in. This was all rented through AirBnB. So we enter the code and then it just lets us in. Awesome. We are so excited to be here. I could not have asked for a better place to be for the next month. We get to just focus on our work and focus on just being here, exploring North Carolina in a really comfortable, super cute, cozy house.
Right now she's running to get out of the mud.
So I really like the area. It's nice and spread out. You feel like you have your own space, and I like that. It's not like right on top of each other, and we have seen a couple houses that have fences, and that makes me feel better because a lot of the ones that are over in our little area, they don't have fences. It's probably just because they're rentals, but it did kind of worry me with Alfie that he'd never have a fenced yard.
Yeah.
Or any dog we get in the future, or even kids. Like, I mean, I was telling this to Ben earlier, I don't love that they're so, like, I don't love that it feels like we're in a forest. I like that there's a forest and it's like super pretty. There's birds everywhere and it just, the feel is really nice, but I don't like that I can't see through the trees. I guess the trees we're used to in Utah are not as dense, and I like being able to see through them. Now, they've done a lot of grooming in the area, so all of the main areas are like man-made forest. Like you can see that all the trees are in rows, and I like that. I'm realizing I sound so high maintenance, but I don't like not knowing what's behind my house. Like I want to be able to see, because I get anxiety, and so knowing what's there or getting an idea of like, is there someone watching me from my backyard, which is a forest? You know, like I know that sounds so ridiculous, but that's kind of what keeps me up at night. So I would live in a place like this, but I would want to make sure it was one of the areas that already had a couple houses sold so that you knew you had neighbors next to you. I would want to make sure we were near all the amenities. Like I love the Outfitter Center. I think that's awesome that you can just go and take a kayak. I love that. The pool was fantastic, and just that little community, little clubhouse was really cool. I like the park. All of that was just awesome. I wouldn't want to be one of the houses just out in the middle of nowhere. You know, I know eventually this whole thing's going to be developed, but it's going to take time. And if we're only, Ben and I have been looking at this, and we're thinking our first house, we're probably only going to be there for about 3 to 5 years. We don't like to think of things as permanent. It kind of helps us, I don't know, like what the word is.
It kind of keeps us more motivated to keep shooting for higher.
Yeah, exactly. It keeps us motivated. So when we think of buying our first house, it's temporary. It's something that will eventually turn into an investment where we can rent it out. This would be a perfect place to buy somewhere to rent out for the future. Like, it'd be awesome to be able to live here and experience living in this kind of community and be able to kind of start a family here. I mean, it's so open and beautiful. But there's also a charter school just outside the community, so that's nice. But I don't think it would be a long-term solution for me. And it would be nice to have bought it and then be able to come back for our own vacations. Like that gets me excited about it, because this is definitely like a summer vacation home kind of thing that I would do in a heartbeat. I'm not a cabin girl. I don't want to go live in a cabin. I don't want to even own a cabin. But having a little cottage in a place like this right on the river, that would be awesome. So tomorrow, Ben's dad and stepmom are joining us here at the cottage, and we're going to try to do some kayaking then. Hopefully the weather's good. It's supposed to rain a little bit. They're bringing their dog, which I think would be super fun, and there's plenty of kayaks for us to use. And then we can just follow the river for a little bit. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. Bye.